friends, and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics to talk to people about, I guess. Friends, family, clients, anybody who is willing to listen. I love to talk about my favorite bars and lounges at Walt Disney World. Because let's face it, when I go to Walt Disney World, I love to eat and drink. Yes, the attractions are great, of course, but I spend most of my time dabbling in the food and beverage industry, so. But this is not just going to be at the theme parks. It is also at the resorts at Disney Springs. Really, no bar or lounge is off limits for my list of favorites here for Walt Disney World. So let's get right to it. Here we go. Let's start at the parks, and honestly, let's just knock out the worst one, and that is Magic Kingdom. I guess I should preface this by saying this is an adults 21 and up legal drinking age video. This is intended for adults and adults only. I just have to say that. I am an adult. Everybody's like, yeah, girl, we know. Magic Kingdom is the only theme park in all of Walt Disney World where you cannot get an alcoholic beverage unless you are at a table service restaurant. Now, they actually just changed it where they are offering more cocktails. It's not a very extensive cocktail menu where you can get like a margarita or just like, they're very basic things. It's not like a full bar by any means, but they have expanded from just beer and wine. Now, if you were to go to somewhere for a drink, I prefer to go to Skipper Canteen. That is just my preference. Now, it's not on my list, but if you really did want a cocktail during the Magic Kingdom day and you didn't want to have a table service reservation, you could just walk over to the Contemporary and go to Steakhouse 71 and they have a bar there. You can just grab a drink. Takes very little time out of your day. So if you're really clamoring for a cocktail during your Magic Kingdom adventure, yeah, that's what I would suggest. So now that that's out of the way, let's get on to the better ones, like actual favorites. Like I would never be like, oh, Skipper Canteen is my favorite place to grab a drink. Like that is not something I would ever say. So, but these other ones, absolutely. All right, let's pop over to Epcot. Now, if you know me at all, or if you follow me mainly on TikTok, I've talked about it, but there is a way to go around the World Showcase and everybody's like, you start in Mexico, you start in Canada, blah, blah, blah. Shut up, you're wrong, you're all wrong. You start in France. Because honestly, I'm not big fans of drinking or adventuring in Canada or the UK. Now, if I were to pop by the UK, on my way to France, where I'm about to start, I go to Rose and Crown Pub because it's a vibe in there. It's so much fun in there. And let's be real, I'm also ending the night in the UK, so I technically do end there. But if I were to pop in, I love Rose and Crown Pub. Sometimes they'll have a live musician in there. It's always just a good time. I'm not going to go over like my favorite drinks except for I'll mention a few. But I do always get a Welch's Dragon, which is the green cocktail. I forget what's in it. Or a beer if I'm there at the end of the night and I don't want anything more sugary because let's face it, there's so much sugar in so many of these Disney cocktails, it's insane. My next favorite bar to go to, it's more of a bar, it is a bar and it's not a lounge, and that is mainly these things. Like I'm not hanging out in a lot of these locations, especially in Epcot because there is so much walking around to do. We always go to the Spice Road Table Bar. It is right at the entrance of Spice Road Table, which is a table service restaurant, but they do have a to-go bar there. We love the staff there. They're amazing. And they always make some really great cocktails. And if you want, they sometimes make some really amazing shots that are flavored and fun and great. It's always so fun to pop in there, especially when I'm with my core group of friends that I always hang out with. We are always stopping in Morocco for a drink. My last favorite spot in Epcot is La Cava del Tequila. I love a good margarita, and I know that you can get them a lot of places in the Mexico Pavilion, but I do love La Cava because the vibes are great. It is small, so keep that in mind. It's not suited for large parties, but if you are just with a few people, I highly recommend going. And this is somewhere I would hang out get some chips and salsa, a margarita, and chill for a little bit. Now, I have not been to the Space 220 Lounge, so that's why I have not said anything on here. But everywhere else, pretty much, I've been to. And again, you need reservations for that, and that's just bonkers. All right, let's make our way over to Hollywood Studios, which is my favorite park to drink at. You would think it was Epcot. It's not. It's Hollywood Studios. And I'll tell you why. Because Hollywood Studios has my favorite bar on property. On property. That means in all of Walt Disney World Resort, and that is Baseline Tap House. If you have not been to Baseline Tap House, you are missing out. If you don't even drink alcohol and have not been to Baseline Tap House, you are missing out. The vibes are immaculate. I don't know, it's something about Baseline that just really, it really gets me. Like, I just love it so much. The biggest thing to note is that they have the famous charcuterie board. It is now $12.50. The most recent Disney price hikes, they finally like raised it, but it used to be $10. It's incredible. I don't eat meat, so I always ask for just a cheese board, and oh, it is so good. And there's also a giant pretzel, which is also great. Not my favorite mustard, but the pretzel itself is delightful. But honestly, I could sit there for hours on end. It is a great spot. You are right on the corner there, so it is perfect for people watching. It is perfect for hanging out. If you are lucky and it's really hot outside, they have a larger table inside Baseline, but there's a lot of outdoor seating too. And my favorite thing to do is I get to Hollywood Studios at about 10:15 in the morning, and I will go immediately to Baseline when they open at 10:30. We would get our cheese board, we get our drink, and then we would mobile order a cannoli or something from Pizza Rizzo and then go up into the banquet hall of Pizza Rizzo. Now, Pizza Rizzo is not one of my favorite bars. Would I consider it a lounge? People are gonna come at me. Some people hate Pizza Rizzo. And listen, I love pizza. I loved cafeteria pizza. It's good cafeteria pizza, but the banquet hall is what makes Pizza Rizzo incredible. If you don't know, it is on the second floor of Baseline. It is on the second floor of Pizza Rizzo. There is a disco ball in the middle of it, and it feels like you are at like a tacky wedding. But this playlist is like 3 hours long. They play 90s music. It's so amazing. Have I worked from Pizza Rizzo before? I sure have. My friend Casey and I have brought our work laptops, we have brought our chargers, and we have posted up in the banquet hall of Pizza Rizzo when we were working from Walt Disney World one day. And you know what? 10 out of 10. But no, I would not consider that a lounge, but it's somewhere to be. And then my second favorite lounge at Hollywood Studios is the Tune-In Lounge, which is the bar that is right next to 50's Primetime Cafe. If you've ever waited for a table at Primetime before, you will know the Tune-In Lounge because it is the bar in the seating area. Now, I love getting a drink from there and I love hanging out there. They have recently removed the bar stools from the bar, which is kind of a bummer, but who knows? They might have brought it back. It's been a few months since I've been there. But it's always so much fun. We really love getting a drink there, and it's a good time. All right, and last for the parks, we are going to Animal Kingdom. My favorite bar at Animal Kingdom is Nomad Lounge. It is an awesome place to chill, hang out, have a drink, have some snacks. My favorite things to get for food, and I know I said I wasn't gonna say all my favorite drinks, and because these aren't my favorite drinks and foods, period. Keep in mind, because like obviously there are some in Epcot that are my favorite cocktails but are not my favorite bars or lounges. But Nomad Lounge, they have both indoor and outdoor seating. This one you would have to put your name in on the My Disney Experience app and it would give you a wait time. That like truly fluctuates. I've had times where they said it's going to be a 50-minute wait and then 3 minutes later they're like, your table is ready. So just keep that in mind. You will have to put your name into this lounge. Both indoor and outdoor seating, and it's a great place to hang out, especially because you can do a lot in Animal Kingdom and be done by 4:30. So it's a great way to soak up some time and hang out in one of the coolest parks ever. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to this next lounge, and it is the Restaurantosaurus Lounge in Dino Land. I remember when this first opened as like a pop-up, and they do have some nice cocktails in there and some seating. It's kind of hidden and it's only open a certain part of the day, but it is a fun, different place to grab a drink and hang out, get out of the very hot and humid weather that is Animal Kingdom Park. I don't know, I really like it. I forget what the cocktail I have there is. It's a blue one with a lemon. It's delightful. So those were my favorite bars and lounges for the 4 theme parks. Now, as we know, Walt Disney World is not just theme parks. We are wide. We have resorts. We have Disney Springs. We have it all, okay? So let's talk about resorts. My favorite bars and lounges outside of the theme parks. My first one, maybe my favorite of the resort lounges slash bars slash restaurant. This is at Disney's Wilderness Lodge, and we are going to Geyser Point. Now, I love Geyser Point. It is an open air restaurant. They do not accept table service reservations, but I like to go as a lounge. Small bites, drinks. It is just such a good time. The staff are always, the cast members are always great. And it's just a place that you can also just hang out for hours. Truly one of my favorites. Next is a more traditional bar that you would think of. There are a lot of really great like actual bars. Like when you think of like a hotel bar, they have a lot of those at the resorts as well. Like Crew Cup at Yacht Beach Club, whichever one that is, I forget. But my favorite is to go to Bellevue Lounge at the Boardwalk. Now, recently Bellevue has had a little bit of a cosmetic change, and I'm not appreciative of her, really. They've changed all of the furniture, and it looks kind of like, a lot of people have said like Wayfair type of thing, and I agree. It's not great, but I do love Bellevue. It is a great place to hang out. After a long day at Epcot, we just head to Bellevue and it's great. Same thing with Abracadabra, also a great place to get a drink, but I prefer Bellevue because there are always less people there, honestly, and we have a large group. Again, the staff, incredible. I know a lot of people are probably like, oh, well, why wouldn't you go here, here, or here that are very nearby? These are just my personal preference, babe. I'm not telling you where to go. I'm telling you my favorite spots to hang out in the parks. Now, this isn't because of like a specific cocktail. It's truly mainly just vibes for a lot of these. And the last resort that we're gonna go to for a list of my favorites is the Polynesian. And you would think I'm gonna say Trader Sam's, and you are half correct. I'm going to say Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace, which is the part of the bar outside. I love Trader Sam's, I do, but it is like a 1-2 time thing, and you do it. Like, I love drinking at the Poly. I love hanging out at the Poly. When I go, I usually am hanging out with friends, larger groups, places people can come and go as they please, and I love the Tiki Terrace for that. I can still get my little Dole Whip with rum, any other drinks that I want, and I'm outside. So if there are fireworks happening or the water pageant, things like that, I don't know, it's just nice to be outside. And sometimes they'll have a musician out there too. So the vibes are just much nicer, and it's more space, open air. I know I'm probably missing a lot of people's favorites when it comes to the resorts, and that's fine. Honestly, if you're gonna be like, hey Miranda, do you like the bar here? I probably would say yes. I probably could go through a list of all of the bars and lounges and be like, I like this for this, and this reason. Because I do, but these are just a list of my favorites. I did have to condense them down. So if I wanna know if I did miss your favorites, and I'm sorry if I did. But our last stop, we will head to Disney Springs. First, I will say the Boathouse bar is great when you can get a spot, because reservations can be really hard to get at Disney Springs. Like, you're not wanting to eat dinner at 9:40 at night. Sometimes you just want like a quick burger or even just a drink and some fries or whatever. And the Boathouse has a bar area where you can go and sit at the bar, order a drink, things like that. And I love the Duck Duck Raz, like a lot of people do. And so I just like to go to the Boathouse for one drink. I don't need a full reservation and a full table service experience just for that. So that is what I like to do at Boathouse. My next favorite bar at Disney Springs, I love the Paddlefish Rooftop Bar. Incredible. It's so much fun because also it has some of my favorite dishes on property. One is the Paddlefish crab fries. amazing. And then their tableside lobster guacamole, they also have that upstairs. They don't have very many other things upstairs at the rooftop, but you can still get drinks and snacks. Amazing. It's a great view of Disney Springs, and again, a lot of fun if you're hanging out with people, or if you're just a party of 2 or a party of 4, they have smaller tables up there as well. And the last place at Disney Springs, obviously one of my favorites, is Wine Bar George. I adore Wine Bar George with my entire heart for a few reasons. Like, obviously I do love wine. I work in the wine industry. Like, it's just fun for me. It's always so great to have a quick snack, a lovely cheese board, a glass of wine, but also I will say, I know I wasn't going to mention favorite cocktails, but you have to have their espresso martini. Their espresso martini is the best one I've ever had in my life, and I've had a lot of espresso martinis. It's incredible. The main reason it's so different at Wine Bar George is they use pisco in it, and they drip the pisco over coffee beans for like, I forget how long it is, but you can even see like the pisco machine on the bar when you walk into Wine Bar George. It's great. You do not need a reservation to go to the bar at Wine Bar George, which is also why I love it, because usually when we go to Disney Springs, it's always like a last minute situation. So I do like the ability to just go up to the bar, sit there, have a cheese board, have a glass of wine, have an espresso martini, whatever it may be, and then go back to shopping and adventuring around Disney Springs when I'm done. But that was a very short list. Again, I have so many other favorites. I have favorite restaurants, I have favorite quick services, I have favorite drinks just at booths and stands and things like that that I did not even hit. But those are just some of my favorites. So I want to know, did I miss your favorite bar/lounge? We'll talk about restaurants at a different time, but bar/lounge/whatever. Let me know what your favorite is. I'm dying to know, because maybe it is someplace that I haven't been, or I'm like, oh, I haven't been there in a while, I should give that a second try. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, all that fun stuff. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the content that you want, answering the questions that you want, being as helpful as I can. So if there are any topics that you want me to cover or chit chat about, let me know. I'm open to those suggestions as well. Right, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!